Good morning, everyone. Pleasure to be here again at the Hidabroot convention. Thank you so much. For first-timers, welcome. For second-timers, welcome back. And thank you to the team of Hidabroot for arranging an amazing lineup of speakers for us today to grow for Tu B'Shvat, to really get us into this beautiful Chag tonight. We'll talk a little bit about that. So hearty welcome and good morning. Warm yourselves up. We've got an amazing day ahead of us, Be'ezrat Hashem. So I love Tu B'Shvat. I drive my kids crazy. I tell my kids, you know what? Everyone's coming. We're going to be drinking some wine. We're going to have some fruits. You're going to get some fiber. We're going to stop with all, maybe even drink some beer. We have to. It's a mitzvah. Anything to get down, the good spirit. And I love Tu B'Shvat. In fact, I want to invite all you amazing ladies to the website, Be'ezrat Hashem, that have the zchut to teach through www.dailydoseofemunah.com. I have a whole Seder there, a page on Tu B'Shvat, and the whole Seder, L'fia HaRizal HaKadosh. And he teaches there the importance of going through mamash a whole Seder, with the 4 cups of wine and 30 different fruits and nuts and the 7, of course, vegetable fruits of the land. And what's very, very important, my husband today brought to my attention, is, usually you go in and you can't find the papaya, so you buy the papaya from Turkey. You can't find the raisins, I don't know, you buy it from Holland, I don't know, wherever, from France. And my husband says to me, wait, what's the whole purpose of this? The whole purpose of doing a Tu B'Shvat Seder is that you should eat the fruits and the nuts of the land. Don't go out and buy some stuff from Turkey. So just remember that when you buy your stuff if you haven't already. So today, I'd love to discuss a subject that's very dear to my heart, and that's the idea of emotional health. For those of you who know the Daily Dose of Emunah and who have followed it, for those who've not, you'll get to understand my passion. My passion is emotional health. The derech that I have come closer to Hashem in writing the Daily Dose of Emunah, and Baruch Hashem, the zchut to teach through the Daily Dose of Emunah, has taught me that without having emunah shlema in yourself, it's very hard to have emunah shlema in anybody else. And it's through loving ourselves, it's through growing within ourselves, that we have the zchut to be able to grow closer to Hashem and to our family, of course, to everyone around us. Rabbi Chaim Vital writes in his Sefer Etz HaChaim, he writes that every one of us needs to constantly ask ourselves, am I producing fruits in this world? Is there some sort of fruit that's growing from either within me, around me, the field around me? And Rabbi Chaim Vital goes on to explain, and many Chachamim come and explain, what does it mean? What are these fruits? And essentially, these fruits are the revelation of godly light in our lives. Everything in this world is hidden. Everything has a husk, has a klipa, hence the importance of, God willing, celebrating Tu B'Shvat today. The idea is we're going through the Seder of our lives. We get to understand that the whole purpose of life is to crack ourselves open and crack others, not too hard, yes, crack others open also when needed to reveal their light, to reveal their godliness to themselves and to the world around us. And the only way to do that is if you're willing to go in the battleground. And you're willing to transform, you're willing to dig, you're willing to go to work, you're willing to go down in the mud and reveal what's there. Not to be afraid, not to say, the Western world today loves to talk about comfort zone, and they bring you all these beautiful advertisements of this, lady sitting on the beach, pina colada in hand, husband giving massages, and you think to yourself, that's the life that I want to live. And that's the comfort zone that the Western world is always feeding us. Western world is all about comfort and the beautiful car and the home. And you don't today have to do anything. You just press buttons and everything goes around. And you have robots doing everything for you. Sooner, we're getting there. But the idea is there is avoda in this world. And there's great, immense reward to the avoda that we're doing. But in order to do that, we have to move. We have to get up from our couches and we have to move. I was saying yesterday, I was at the Emunah mission yesterday in Asia Torah, and we were talking about the idea of Ratzon. And I lead, Baruch Hashem, a beautiful chabura called Chaburat Ratzon. I'm starting a new group in May. If anybody wants to sign up, there's a sign-up sheet in the back. My books are also in the back. I'll talk about that a little bit later. Anyway, so we were talking about the whole idea of Ratzon and talking about the whole idea of feeling a lacking in life. Why is there even a lacking in life? Why do I even have to get to work? Why can't things just be so easy for me and I don't even have to get to work? Why do I have to even work? And the idea is because Hashem has, so to speak, a ratzon to give to us. And Hashem wants to give to us, but if I don't want to receive back, then essentially I'm not able to receive. And in the Sifrei Kabbalah, we're taught that the kli, the vessel to receiving godly light, is a person's ratzon. The more you want and you yearn and you have this intense fire in your kishka that you really want something, then the more you're opening yourself up to receiving it. And so if I have everything that I want, I'm not getting off from the couch at the end of the night. I've got my coffee next to me. I've got my blanket next to me. Husband doing massage. Children took out the garbage in my dreams. Right? Everything is all ready to go. And I'm not getting up off from that couch because I have everything I need. I don't want anything more. So the idea is to constantly want, and Hashem wants us to want. Because without yearning, without wanting, there'll be no movement in life, and nothing will get done. We'll all be here, and we'll all be twiddling our thumbs. There will be nothing done. So the idea is there has to be this constant movement, this desire, this feeling I'm lacking something in life. I better get going. I better try to fill something up. That missing link in my life, I better try to run and see how can I fill that part of me that's missing. How can I fill it up? I have the zchut, Baruch Hashem, in the last year and a half to be practicing what I call Emunah energy therapy. And the idea behind energy therapy in the spirit of the writings of the Torah is that all of life is about energy. As we're speaking now, there are movements and waves of frequencies of energy. We're resonating messages out to the world. Our thoughts run on energy waves. In fact, how is it that you say a tefillah? And you say, let's just say you went into the supermarket and you met someone in the supermarket and you happen to know that person needs a Yeshua and you don't remember their name. And all you're doing is thinking about that person. You don't even know their name. And you send out a tefillah to Hashem for that person. How does that kavana hit that person? Energy. It rides through the invisible network and matrix of life, and it finds its way to that person. And when it finally finds that person, it stops and starts enveloping that person. That's essentially on a scientific, you didn't think you were coming today to a physics class, huh? On a physics level, Physics 101, yeah? That's what happens. That's essentially what sound waves are. I'm sending all the time things out to people, and that is the churning of movement. The Ibn Ezra brings down, and he says everyone needs to know the movement of their nefesh in order to serve Hashem. They have to know what ticks them, what talks them, what gets them upset, who pushed my button, who got me upset. They have to get to know themselves And Rab Dessler Zatzal brings this down over and over again in his Mechtav de Eliyahu. He brings it down over and over again, the avodah, the nefesh, to get to know yourself. But in order to get to know yourself, you need to be willing to dig in those places, the recesses of your heart and your mind that you don't want to explore. And so many of us don't want to see that guk that's hiding underneath. But essentially, Rav Dessler brings down that a heart that's clogged up with guilt and with anguish and with feelings of unworthiness, there's no room for godly light to come into that heart. And so the avoda, essentially, in this world right now as we're here, is to work on our midot, on our regashot, on our emotions, and clear ourselves out and begin to see what's hiding underneath. And there's so much light. Chelek Eloka mimal, it's not just words. Every single, do we sit and do we think about it for 1 minute? Each and every one of us has godliness in it. It's not just something that the Chachamim decided to just send to us as, a Band-Aid over a weakened self-esteem. It's real stuff. Every single one of us has godliness in us. And unless we believe in ourselves and we believe it's there, and every morning, what are we instructed to say? Modeh ani lefanecha. And the last words are, Rabba emunatecha. One of the first classes I had the zchut to teach was on this concept. Rabba emunatecha, I'm professing to myself. I need to hear myself say, you, Hashem, believe in me. You believe that today I'm going to clean up better than I cleaned up yesterday, and I'm going to make something amazing. I'm going to produce fruits. I'm going to take the sledgehammer, and I'm going to crack things open gently, especially my husband and people who know me. I'm not going to throw things at them. I'm going to reveal essentially what I know and I believe that is in there. And how do I know this? Emunah. It's written in the Torah that everything's good. I'm a good soldier. It's written in the Torah. If that's what Hashem says, that's what's there. There's geula in your life right here, and you just don't see it. Then I have to go with that teaching and that knowledge and acknowledge the fact that there is godliness here, and my job is to unveil it and to reveal it. The Chachamim teach us that essentially man, right, is a tree of the field. But the Chachamim teach us that we're not just a regular shaped tree with the roots over here and then growing upward. It's the exact opposite. We are an upside down tree. In case you ever felt like you were a little dizzy, well, your tree is upside down. Essentially, the roots of our essence, where we're getting fed, is up in Shemayim. The soul is the seed, and it's constantly, ever feel like things are rotting away on you? Well, you're about to produce something amazing when that happens. Because essentially the soul is likened to a seed, and the seed needs to rot in order to produce high quality, amazing fruits. What do you put in the ground in order to have good quality fruits? Manure. Manure, ladies. Yep, that's the essence of how we're growing here. We've got manure, and high quality manure, I must admit. Those cows were eating real good when we got that bag of manure. The idea is that in order to grow, we have to know that there's some dirt that we have to go through. There's some digging. In fact, the man's life is directly parallel to the stages in agriculture. Anybody a farmer? Anybody wish to be a farmer? I tell my husband all the time, I want to live in a farm. And he's like, sure, with your second husband, you can be sure to do that. And he's here. He can testify for that. I really do. I have such a love of animals. But essentially, really, the whole avoda of the ground, of working in the ground, is essentially parallel to what we need to do to clean ourselves out. There's dirt, we've got to extract, we've got to weed, we've got to plant, and there's a time to harvest. As the pasuk in Tehillim says, Hazorim bedima berina yiktzoru. Those that sow in pain and in tears will harvest in joy. It's not an easy avoda to reveal to yourself and to the world around you your fruits. But they're there, and they're waiting to be revealed. And change is not easy. Change is not easy. In fact, the Ramchal says in Mesilat Yesharim, if you came into this world and you think that you're going for a walk in the park, forget it. Check out now. Because the whole idea of this world is essentially to go from nisayon to nisayon, from work to work. Olam ha'asiyah, the world of action, the world of doing, requires that we roll up our sleeves and that we get to work. And there's payment for it. There's a reward for it, but essentially that is what we're here to do. And change doesn't come easy because, like I said, it means that I have to essentially look at myself and I have to reveal certain aspects of myself. For instance, I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I wanted to park inside the Kotel, which is where I taught, and I have on my windshield a handicap permit because whoever knows or doesn't know, I'm diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and so I'm handicapped. Thank God, Baruch Hashem, mobile in the handicapped best way possible. But there I do. That's my diagnosis. So I have this permit on my car, and I don't have the original card. Long story short, it hasn't come to me. I was in the process of renewing it, and the guard there is looking at me, and he says, "En knisa." Okay, he says, "No way, you're not getting in." And I'm like, "Please, I have to teach here. I have books to carry. I need to go in." And he says to me, "Lo ya'azor lach klum, geveret, timtzi lach hanaya shama." And he basically shoos me away, and he says, "Ain't happening, babe. Better go somewhere else." So I'm like with tears in my eyes, and I'm like, I don't see nobody in front of me. Enod milvado, it's you, Hashem. You're trying to tell me something. Fine. Okay, I'm going, doing my roundabout, the old city, and I find my car coming back there. I was trying to look for parking. I couldn't find it anywhere else. So I find my car going back to the same guy. He takes one look at me, and he says to me, "Lo ya'azor lach klum." Nothing's going to help you this time. And I'm thinking, and I didn't want to, but I just started crying. I couldn't help it. It's a good thing to use sometimes when I guess we're women. We can use those tears. I said, maybe it will. But every tear that came out, I said to Hashem, those tears, let me make it clear to you, Hashem. This is what I'm saying as I'm crying. I said, let me make it clear to you, Hashem. I'm not crying over this one. I'm crying over you. I'm taking every tear and take it up to Shemaim. There was a yearning that came inside of me. And you know where it came from? I felt like I wanted to go early to the kotel to daven before I went and taught. And I had such a need. I had such a need to go and hug those, stones. You never get used to it. Even living here in Eretz Yisrael almost 9 years, you just don't get used to going to the kotel. It's one of those things. It just keeps, recharging you. And so essentially I went there and I felt by the guard not letting me in, I felt sort of rejected. I thought to myself, Hashem, I'm coming here. I want to daven to you. Why are you rejecting me? Why are you not letting me in? I mean, yeah, I could find space up there, but it's going to take me time, and who knows if I'll catch a taxi. I have to schlep this stuff down, and it's wasting time, Hashem. I want to daven to you. And I went through this process of having to go inside my soul and recognize, what are you really feeling, Orit? What are you really feeling now? And I named it. And this is one of the things we go through in our Ratzon Chabura is really labeling things and putting things and getting a clear understanding of what it is that we're really going through in terms of our nefesh. And I thought to myself, you feel rejected. But you don't feel necessarily rejected from Hashem. You feel rejected maybe because of some sort of childhood pattern or conditioning. It reminds you everything is stuck on a cellular level in the brain. and you're recalling some sort of memory that must have come from way back when. Maybe you were in Mara Rivka's class at 3 years old, and she said, no more candy, and you felt rejected. And that's why the guard is making you feel rejected. Take care of it. Clean it up. Bear the fruit. Show the light. This is not about the guard. This has nothing to do with the guard. There is no guard. There is nobody saying no. It's in you. Hashem showed me through the guard that I have to uncover a level of rejection, and that's a speck in my soul that doesn't allow for Hashem's light to enter in me. And then I wonder why I don't feel close to Hashem, why I feel rejected by him. It has nothing to do with him. Hashem says, I don't want you to feel that way. So go in and dig and reveal, break open that klipa. Break it open. It's not real. And sometimes you get packages, and boy, they're packaged, and you're still taking off the pink ribbon and the red ribbon and the blue ribbon. You're like, wow, they really invested a lot of money on this packaging. That's the klipa. Some of them require a massive amount of time, sometimes years worth of work. You're just opening up one package. But don't give up. Change happens as you stay with it. And it reminds me of a little bit of a joke. An Amish boy and his father decide to go into a mall for the first time. Everyone know what Amish family, right? Pennsylvania, they don't know anything. They basically work with, Yemei Beinaim. They don't know anything about technology. And they go into a mall, and they're amazed at the lights. They're looking around, they're like, wow, this is fantastic. Suddenly their eye gets caught on 2 silver doors that appear to be opening and closing, an elevator, which they did not know was an elevator. And they go in and they see, wow, opening, closing, people going in, people going out. Suddenly they see a young woman wheel an older lady inside these, what they call 2 silvery shining doors. And they press on the button and the numbers go, slowly down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Doors open. The woman gets wheeled into this elevator, and the doors beautifully close. And again, the numbers start lighting up. And the numbers again, 1, 2, 3, 4. They're sitting there, they're waiting, like, where did this lady go? Suddenly again, they see the lights going on again. 4, 3, 2, 1. The doors magically open. Where's the lady in the wheelchair? She's gone. Out comes a young 24-year-old lady with a pocketbook. Gorgeous. And the father says to the son, quick, bring your mother here right now. Change doesn't happen so quickly. We wish it would be so quick. It doesn't. We're here to work. We're here to reveal. And we're here to bear the fruits. And those fruits show themselves to us. They're really there. The problem is, and as we're reading these parshiot of Yetziat Mitzrayim, there's a voice in our mind. And the voice goes, Vayareu otanu hamitzrim. And the Shla Kadosh brings down, what is the meaning of that? Okay, they did bad for us. The Shla says, no. That's not what it means. It means that they made us appear bad in our own eyes. We as though felt that we were bad. They did what we call psychological warfare. They made us feel, you're bad. God doesn't want you anymore. You're stuck here. And so whenever we want to go and change, we're constantly being bombarded with this whisper telling us there's no way you're going to change. You're stuck, and God doesn't want you. And our job is to go against that, and go into the world of Asiyah and say, Nike, I hope, is not going to sue me for this one. I use it very regularly. Just do it. Just go into your life and just begin to work. Don't give up and keep going at it. Keep revealing what is there, what's hidden there. In every event, in every instance, Hashem doesn't make mistakes. He knew what he was doing when he put your husband together with you under the chuppah. He really did not forget about you there. And if he put you together with a husband who pushes your buttons and gets that point of view that's annoying, or the child that you really love but really knows how to get you upset, and you say, I'm really not an angry person. I mean, before I became a mother, I was so calm. I never knew what it was like to yell. It's his fault. They're the ones that make me do it. And Hashem says, no, honey, you've got it wrong. You've always been angry. I just never showed you it. I never sent you the people to show you what you really have going on inside of you. But you've got anger issues, and you better start getting to work. You better start seeing what's there, what's boiling. Don't go out and looking. You know, the blame game had to stop at one point. And 5,778 years, we're still blaming everybody else. Adam HaRishon started it. He blamed Aisha Azat Shenatat Li, and that's a husband still blaming us today too also. Yeah, man, it's our fault. Yeah. But the idea is for us to recognize, essentially, there's no one to blame. You're doing me a favor, Hashem, by showing me the schmutz that I have, hiding that godly spark. And unless I remain with my emunah from the word ne'emanut, loyal, unless I remain loyal to the fact that I believe that Hashem has installed and implanted in me godliness, unless I don't give up to constantly look and find that beautiful space inside of me that I know exists, then I stay in the dirt. I'm not doing anything with it. I'm sitting there in the dirt, in the manure, in the dirt, with the weeds, the worms, whatever. It's all there. But it's also a place of great potential, right? Adam, Adameh, Adama. All of this is to teach us that there's tremendous potential inside of us. And how does this tie into Tu B'Shvat? The world, the outside world, reflects what's inside. If you want to know how you really are inside, look at the people around you. Look at your neighbors, your husband, your children. Chazal bring down that if you want to measure what they're saying about you in Shemayim, look at the way you interact with yourself, with others, and how others respond to you. Because everything on the outside is a direct mirror. If there's an issue that's going on in your life, don't wish it away. Work on it. You're resonating it out. It's your mirror. If I say that I have a child who's ungrateful, there's a level of ungratefulness in me that Hashem is showing me. Don't be scared to go there. Don't be scared to say, you know what? That's not really me. I'm a godly spirit. I'm made of the good godly stuff there. And God is not ungrateful. I know that He's perfect, which means there's an aspect of me that's also perfect. So what is this that I'm going through? And that's where, through self-contemplation and accountability and responsibility and letting go, the emotional process of letting go, we say, oh, wait a minute. That's my Tommy Hilfiger shirt I was wearing. I got to change to Fox. It's a garment. It doesn't belong to me. It never was. It's just been placed on me so I can remove it and reveal what it's really hiding inside. So don't be scared to go into your nefesh and look to see, because you know what? It's the most revealing, releasing. That's true geula. That is true freedom. Don't just push it away. Welcome it to your life and say, what is really happening here? What's going on here? Where is this in me? Cherish the message. You know, if you're walking around here, there's beautiful chocolate cake. If you're walking around with chocolate cake stuck on your cheek, wouldn't you want someone to tell you that you've got chocolate, cake, especially if you're about to take pictures? Wouldn't you want someone to tell you that? That's what Hashem is doing to us all day long. He's saying, you've got chocolate cake. I wish. Chocolate cake smushed on your face. Clean it up. It's not really you. You could just take a shmata and clean it off. Big deal. It's not really who I am. I'm a clean person. I use, And so that is essentially the way we grow our fruits. We recognize that nothing in this world is face value. Everything has a klipa. Everything has a shell. And my job and your job and all of our jobs is to break it open. And when we do, and Be'ezrat Hashem, we have the zchut, then we essentially reveal the light of Geula. And that, when you do it and I do it and everyone takes their sledgehammer and their tractor and their wrench and whatever it is, the tools that Hashem gave you, some need only feathers, some need tractors. But every single one of us was given tools to be able to break open our husks and plant our own fruits and reveal our own uniqueness. So the idea is when all of us do that, Be'ezrat Hashem, then the light of Mashiach will finally be revealed because it's in our hands. It's there. It's like a veil just waiting to be roofed off to show what's really hiding. My olden days, before I became a Baal Tshuva, I used to watch The Price is Right. I used to always enjoy what's behind curtain number 1, what's behind curtain number 2. And I always use that analogy. So you can even use the bad stuff, so to speak, in your growth of Emunah. I say, I wonder what's hiding here for me, Hashem, under curtain number 1. I wonder what prize you're waiting to reveal to me. And I go into the Nisyonot, Be'ezrat Hashem, with Rachamim, and I ask Hashem, help me open up that curtain. And let me reveal what it is that you want to show me so badly. And through my Ratzon, Be'ezrat Hashem, I don't give up. And just one last point, Ratzon, if you switch the letters around, it spells tzino, a pipeline. So essentially when we don't give up and we believe and yearn and desire to want to see what's there, we open up the pipeline for godly light to come in. And Be'ezrat Hashem, it should send Yeshuot and Nechamot and Smachot and Geula Shlema. And I wish all of us an amazing Tu B'Shvat, that every single one of you, I pray for every single one of us all day. Every day should be Tu B'Shvat. Every day we should have the zchut to reveal the amazing, amazing godly light that Hashem gave us. And everyone has such a beautiful, unique purpose. Be'ezrat Hashem, we have the zchut to see it. Amen.